Hey guys, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Sister, SISTER, Night Pod. And visit our website, sisternightpodcast.com, to hear all of our episodes and to get more information about all the things we talked about on today's show. And don't forget to rate us on iTunes. Without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Hi guys, welcome to Sister Night, our weekly podcast show where we discuss pop culture, the latest happenings, and dish advice on all things from love and relationships, business and career, and adulting in your 20s and 30s. My name is Maddie, and joining me every week are my sisters Cindy and Charlotte, and behind the scenes we also have our brother Josh, who's in charge of all the sound editing stuff. Now before we begin, I can't believe that so many people tuned into our first episode.
I know, that was so cool.
I know, I could have sworn we would have had like a total of 5 plays, maybe the 4 of us and maybe Mom, but I couldn't believe that so many people tuned in. I mean, so many people from what I expected.
Right. Well, I'm glad. That means we have friends out there that want to listen to what we have to say.
Super great.
Now the pressure. Well, now the pressure is on. I mean, when I came up with the idea to do the podcast, I really just wanted it to be something that we got to do together every week. I didn't really expect it to be anything major, but I'm glad that people are tuning in, and hopefully they'll keep tuning in week after week.
Right, I agree. I mean, it's us taking time to do this podcast, which everyone is busy, but I think it's something fun for us to keep in touch and, discuss what's going on in our lives and current every day. So I think it'll be great. I'm excited.
Me too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So today's International Women's Day, so we have an estrogen-filled episode for you guys today, but let's get right into it. Every week, we want to start the podcast by highlighting an amazing woman that is making our world a better place in a segment we'd like to call Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. So today we want to give a shout out to the Jalbit, the new CEO of the Abdullah Al Ghurair Foundation for Education, one of the largest education foundations in the world today. It has pledged to donate $1.1 billion over the next 10 years to education in the Arab world. This is great news for the 13 million children out of school because of an ongoing conflict in that area. The last 18 years, MISA has been involved in channeling more funding towards education, developing programs for hard-to-reach communities, including those communities in conflict zones, and increasing access to quality education.
Now it's time for El Bochinche. Is our current affairs, what's going on. So El Bochinche translates to the gossip in Spanish. So here we go. First thing on the agenda.
Well, actually, it's in Dominican.
Oh, in Dominican, excuse me. The first topic of discussion is Oprah for president. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Maddie.
Well, I mean, she was on Bloomberg today. She didn't say she was running for president, but she said basically that, now that Donald Trump is president, it's like, anyone can be president. It's up for grabs. So, she said, maybe that's a possibility. Who knows? I don't think she's actually going to run for president, but I would totally vote for her.
I agree.
I think she would be a hell of a lot better than Trump right now. So, I mean, my vote is for her as well. I would love to see a woman president, especially a black woman president. So, my vote is for Oprah. If she wants to do it, I'm down.
I'm all for her.
I'm curious, what do you think she would run under? Is she be like a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, totally. She'd be a Democrat. I mean,
really?
She supported Barack Obama. She definitely would be a Democrat.
A lot of people supported Barack Obama, though. But I think that also it might have been because he was the first black president. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know that she'd pass her support behind someone like Dr. Ben Carson. I don't think that she would. So I don't think it was just the fact that he was black. But anyway, I'm here for it. I think a year, maybe 2 years ago, I would have said there's just no way Trump could have actually been president, and here we are. So I think the future, we're going to see a lot more of this. I think the door's been kicked open wide for anyone that wants to run for president may actually have a chance now.
Well, if Oprah, I mean, like, that's just, I feel like Trump, it's like we're the laughing stock of the earth. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, you know, Trump is just, I don't know. I want to say, like, well, might as well put Kanye West for president because he wanted to be president too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we just let anyone do it and, you know, then it's just like we'll be a laughing stock of a nation. I don't necessarily. I'm not saying I don't agree. I think Oprah would be good if she wanted to run for presidency. I think she'd do a lot for women's rights and a lot for a lot of different issues. And having a woman president just gives a different feel. But I think we're a laughing stock right now. I mean, to a lot of other countries. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. Maybe other people in other countries don't see it that way, but I think, you know, I mean, we call him Agent Orange, for God's sake, you know?
Well, I didn't vote for Trump, so you're preaching to the choir over here, but I mean,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I have two things to say about this. Two things. One, I would vote for Oprah, not just because she's like the first female black president, but because I think that she has been, like, she has had the courage to lead a different lifestyle than traditional women in the name of her career. You know what I mean? Hasn't gotten married, hasn't had kids, and has decided to willingly forego that lifestyle to have that career. And I think that a woman like that we do need as a president. I don't think that it would be bad to have a woman who has a family and all of that, but she would have to share her life with the job. And I think that that's not something I would want for a woman. So I think that would encourage me to do that. And also, Trump is not the first non-political person to go for president. Ronald Reagan was an actor. So history has kind of repeated itself a little bit in that aspect.
Going back to what you said, I mean, I kind of have to, I mean, not disagree, but I guess probe a little bit about, you know, you said a woman would, if she had a family, I mean, but all the male presidents have families, so why don't we put that same pressure on guys that go into office with their families? Like, why is it that a woman that goes in with her family, that's seen as a negative as opposed to...
No, I don't think it's a negative. I said I wouldn't want to have her share her family life with a presidency, because presidency is an all-encompassing thing.
I think she could do it.
But I'm saying, but men do it all the time. So why would it be any different than, let's say, Obama? He shared his family with the presidency too.
But at least he had, like, I don't know, maybe that makes me, like, sexist that way, but I just feel like it's different. As a mom now, would you become president knowing that you have Jonas with you? Like, well, as a woman, I wouldn't want to do that, you know?
Well, as a mom right now, I'm working a job and I have my business, and I don't see anything different from that. Then, I mean, granted, I'm not serving the whole country, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel as though women
have
can
to do
juggle.
both.
Yeah, women juggle a lot of different roles, and if anything, if Oprah ran for president, she runs like she's a billionaire. She has multi-million dollar corporations, business skills, people skills. I mean, I don't see that as a problem for her. She's not married. She doesn't have kids. I don't believe she's married, right?
No,
She
she's
doesn't
not.
she's not. So that's not going to be a problem for her. I mean, if anyone's suitable, then she's definitely, has, she has a lot of, also a team. These people are not going in it alone. It's not like she's doing everything. She has people that work for her, assistants and whoever that, can handle a lot of the things that she takes care of at Oprah. And, so that she could have her presidential duties, she can focus on those. If that's something she wants to do. Maybe she doesn't want to do it. So, anyhow.
Well, speaking about professional women, have you guys heard about the international women's strikes, like, all around the world?
I have. I've seen articles on NBC. Women have come out today on International Women's Day, on their days, whether they had days off or not days off, to, I guess, strike for equality. And we're crazy that we're still, it's not crazy. We're still rallying for women, girls throughout the world, all over, for equal rights, equal pay, equal, fair ground, if you will. Fair ground. I think that is something to be said, for education and medical resources and sexual violence, gender oppressions at the workplace, all over. What do you guys think?
I heard about it on the internet. I have to say I didn't really see anything in actual real life or heard of any real life woman that I know actually strike. So I don't know how effective these things are. I know the Women's March, that looked amazing, and I wish I would have participated. But, as far as this, I feel like I didn't hear much about it. I just heard about it today, and like I said, I heard about it on the internet, but I didn't really see it in my neck of the woods. So
actually, that Women's March in Washington, D.C., my girlfriend Atavia and her aunt and her cousin went down, and they were actually put on the Time magazine. Their photo was taken on Time magazine in the march, and she said it was such an amazing experience. And today, she posted this poem from Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Woman, right? That's Maya Angelou, right?
Yes.
And it's definitely an important time for women now. I think this is going to be an important time in history for us. I think we're more powerful than ever, and we're going to see really good, big things from women, for sure. I think we're just going to see a lot of big things, so that'll be good.
Speaking of being more powerful, I don't know, just sidetracking a little bit, Tayana Taylor, she is phenomenal, gorgeous body. She came out with a new workout plan. I don't know if you know her. I didn't know her before Kanye West's Fade video.
Yeah, I love that video.
But if you've ever seen that video, she has an absolute great body, and she came out with a new workout plan, okay, that everybody's going bananas for. These things. These are fads. But what do you think? Do you think that, it is selling, I looked it up, I think it's about $150 or something for a subscription. Whoa. So, I don't think that's bad. That's like a CrossFit.
But what does it include? No, CrossFit.
It's like a video program.
Yeah.
I respect the hustle. I had major girl crush when I saw her in the Kanye video. I think everyone did.
Yeah.
And I think she looks great.
I wouldn't personally go out and get it just because I don't do workout videos, like, you know what I mean? But if I were someone that, needed some sort of motivation to do it, then maybe I would do it. I don't think like she's like, what is the other fitness woman? Like, I feel like this is like a fad thing. I don't think it's going to last too long, even though it's very hot and popping right now. But what's that, like Jenny Craig, or not Jenny Craig? She's like a diet plan. Like, what's the other one that always
I know who
works
you're talking
out?
about. Yeah, Jill something. Oh,
Yes. Anyhow,
forgot.
so she has it, and she's been doing this for years. You know what I mean? People that really have dedicated themselves to certain things, they don't go away. You know, they have years and years of experience. Just because you have a nice body and you work out, like, you know, okay, well, what else can you tell me? But she may surprise us down the line, and, you know, we may see more of her coming up.
Right,
So,
yeah.
seeing more, actually keeping on with the bochinche, seeing more of people, a lot of people, I don't know what's going on around town. Nicki Minaj had a picture up with one boob out. Okay.
Oh my god.
Emma Watson came out with her underboobage. What's going on at the
Vogue,
Beauty
right?
and Beast? Was that at the Beauty
I
and
don't
Beast
know.
premiere?
No.
That was on Vogue, right?
No. That was in
Oh.
Vanity. No, it was in Vanity Fair.
Oh God. What
It was
is
Vanity
happening?
So, Nicki Minaj. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever have Nicki Minaj and Emma Watson in the same sentence.
Seriously, I mean, I could expect it from Nicki. I can't expect it from Emma.
But
Like,
the
what's
whole
going on?
boob, though, like she
But
pulled
you
out
know-
of Janet Jackson.
Okay, you know what? Nicki Minaj. Okay, I'm into.
She did a little Kim, actually.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what I was
Kim,
gonna
little
say.
Kim. Yeah, it's
she
not
did a
Janet
little
Jackson,
Kim.
sorry.
She is like, I'm losing a little bit more and more respect for her every day after the Sheether. Remy Ma killed her on that Sheether.
She never came back.
She never came back. She hit her again, which was, you know, it was like a double whammy, and then she still didn't come back with anything. And now she's like showing her
Got her boob out.
Yeah, she needs like.
You see,
no.
This is what I. Oh no.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
go. I feel like the difference between Nicki Minaj and Emma Watson is that Nicki Minaj used her boobs to distract from what was going on. Like, I feel like she used it like, here's my body, talk about that, instead of what was happening with Remy Ma. You know?
Charlemagne the God. Okay, Charlemagne the God. If I don't know if you guys listen to him.
Yes,
I listen to his segment, and, you know, I don't take everything he says as the truth, but he said something that really hit a nerve. And it's like, at the end of the day, you are a rapper. That's what you do. That's how you got famous. Then you need to get back to rapping. You know what I mean? All this, like, she had this picture up with, like, oh, she was at Future's video, like his new video. Like, where are you rapping? Like, come on. Like, where did that go from, you know, here's my body, here's a titty, and, you know, let me hear what you got, because ultimately that's where she's losing respect with her fans, you know? And
well, you know what happens to people. I'm sorry, Charlotte. Did you want to jump in?
I was just going to say, and I'm not going to throw any shade at Emma Watson. She hasn't had any kind of nakedness at all. So if this is the most nakedness that she's ever going to put out, then so be it. Whatever.
Actually, I have to say, I didn't mind. I mean, did you guys see the actual spread?
Yeah,
I did.
Did you see the pictures? It was very artistic. I thought it was very, it was androgynous, the whole look. It was very powerful, and very artistic. Like, I loved the look. It wasn't like Kim Kardashian.
Sexy.
Not even sexy. Like, it wasn't like Kim Kardashian on Paper Magazine where she's all oiled up and, you know, where it's very, I felt like, demeaning. This was, to me, was empowering, and I didn't mind it. Plus, you know, I have a tendency to think that Emma Watson is super young because, I don't know, I just remember her in Harry Potter and she was a little kid. She's 26 years old, so it's like...
That's my age.
She's a grown woman. If she wants to show her underboob a little bit and do it the way she did it, which I thought was very artsy and classy, and why not? I mean, I don't see the big deal about that. I don't know why people are getting, you know, they're ganging up on her. I do think it was very strategic, though. I don't know why she decided to do this now in her career, right before she's going to release Beauty and the Beast.
Maybe.
But
How is that strategic? I mean, you're coming out with a children's movie.
But maybe that's why another children's movie. So maybe she's just like, okay, guys, I'm doing this other children's movie, but remember, I'm still an adult. You know what I mean?
yes, I feel like it was either way. Either she's making a statement like she doesn't want to be pigeonholed into a Disney princess roles, or maybe create buzz for the movie. Even though I don't think that she would do something to create buzz for a movie, but you never know. It's Hollywood after all. So,
yeah,
but
I'm looking at the pictures. They are very cool. They are very, very cool. I like them.
They're very, I love them.
Speaking of cool pictures, have you guys seen, what's it called? Sierra's maternity picture, Madeline? What do you think about that? It was like she's naked, the baby's on top of her belly, and then her husband is kind of hugging her from behind, like her naked body, and it looks like he's naked as well. So it's just a big whole naked.
You know what? I've seen this a lot. I thought the composition was kind of weird, but it's not the first time I've seen this happen. I would have liked that picture better maybe if it was her and the baby. Like I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty. I think that we're gonna see a lot more of this. She's not the first celebrity to kind of bare her belly, and so it's the trend. You know, what can I say? It's kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Again, it's Hollywood, so they do all sorts of things, like name their children all sorts of different things, apple and pecans. But, I personally don't like it, and I don't think real life women would maybe they would. I don't know. I mean,
you'd be surprised. I think there's a market for it.
A lot of mothers go nude, but I'm like, I think that the pose is awkward.
Yeah, for me it was the pose or maybe the composition. Like I don't know that I'd have is Future her husband?
No, Future no. They broke up. No, Future wishes he was with Sierra. No, he was like heartbroken. He wrote about her in I don't know how many rap songs. No.
I know nothing. I know nothing, Jon Snow over here.
You definitely don't.
But yeah, I didn't like the composition, but I feel like we've seen this before. So I wasn't blown away. It was just like, it is what it is. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah. Every pregnancy every pregnant woman has their own style. I just think it is a very intimate picture, like even, if you're bearing soul, if it's like an artistic picture, then you're naked with your family, there's no boundaries, nothing in between you two. And it's not my personal style to put that out there. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I prefer it better than Beyonce's, to be honest. I prefer
her maternity shoot. I liked
Beyonce's pregnancy announcement. Of course you did.
I did. I liked it. I mean, I honestly think
I didn't like the fake flowers and the car
I think it was nice. Like, I think it was just nicer, and there was something else going on, and she was so nice. Didn't she have like a veil on? She had like a little yellow veil.
It just seems so out of place. I get it. Like, I know what it was representing, and I know that it was, I think it was an homage to a goddess. I forget the name. But, I just think that it didn't execute as nicely as probably it could have.
And I like Beyonce's maternity picture better than Ciara's. I don't know, but that's just my style.
Every pregnant woman has their own style.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so that ends this section of El Bochinche.
Yay!
Now we're gonna start our Q&A section. So we have 2 questions for you guys today, or for the sisters today. Sorry, you guys. First question being, if we could sit down with a woman from the past or the present, who would it be? Madeline, you start this one off.
Okay. So I think my answer is going to be a little cliche, but I'm a big fan of Frida Kahlo. Anyone that knows me knows I've dressed up like her.
How did I know that was
I visited her house in Mexico. I'm a big fan of her work. And, I just feel like she is a trendsetter. She was an influential Latina. There's just so much about her life that was fascinating. She was bisexual, which was very interesting. Like, she just broke so many rules of the time, and she was unapologetically in love with her husband. It was just, she is so fascinating. There's just so much about her. And then her work on top of that is just, I remember seeing her stuff back in college, like before I knew anything about her, before art, and like her paintings just, it was like they hit me in the gut. I really felt them. And I don't feel like that about art. Like, I'm not an art person. I never had that sort of gut reaction to any artwork. So when I saw her work, I felt something, and I've been a fan ever since. And the more I've learned about her, I read her biography, visited her house, and learned about her life, the more I'm intrigued. I would love to meet her in person. I think she'd be very cool and be able to share a lot of wisdom. So that's my person.
All right.
Great.
Sid, how about you?
Okay, I had two women that I would, if I could sit down and speak to them, I would. First one being Kana Walker. She is the creator of House of CB. I'm not sure if you heard of that clothing line, but it is like the hottest thing in fashion in London. I love UK, London clothing brands. So it is House of CB, all the celebrities. She's got the Kardashians wearing it. She got J-Lo wearing it. Beyonce wears it. Like, she's like 24 years old. And yes, it is crazy. Like, I follow her on Snapchat. Like, she's not very interesting to follow on Snapchat. But I follow her anyways because I just think that it's so awesome. She started her clothing line at 17 years old, and for someone to, I don't know, to get to where she's at, she really is just, and a big dream of mine always is to have a clothing boutique. So
what's her name again?
Her name is Kona. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Kona Walker. Kona, Conna Walker. And she's just absolutely fabulous. I love her. I'm so impressed by her. She's like way younger than me now. I think she's like, maybe she's 25 now. I don't even think she's 25. I think she's like 24. She started at 17, and her clothing, first off, is gorgeous. Her clothing, her dresses are amazing. They're right up my alley. They're like J-Lo dresses, Kardashian dresses. They have a little bit of a hefty price tag for me because I'm just cheap like that. But, I don't think they're not really expensive for celebrities. They're like $300 dresses, and you see these people sporting them. And I just think like she has that line. And then she has another one that's more cutesy fun for, more targeted to younger girls. That's called Mistress Rocks. So she has House of CB, Mistress Rocks. So I would love to sit down and just pick her brain and see, and it's just like it's an inspiration to young girls that want, to do their own clothing line and do stuff like that. The other woman that, again, around the same type of, same scenario is Sophia Amoruso. Sophia Amoruso was the creator and founder. She was the CEO of Nasty Gal until very recently. She was kind of like a rebel type personality, so I resonate with her because I'm a kind of a rebel personality. She used to steal. She talks about, but she created Nasty Gal on eBay. She started selling vintage clothes, and it exploded into this huge company. I've read her book. She has a book called Girl Boss. I own the book.
Oh, yeah.
Her. Yeah, she is great. And like, I think she sold, I don't know if she sold her company or she's no longer the CEO, but the clothing is like, it's awesome. It's real edgy and trendy. And again, she came from nothing. Like, she was like on the streets. She was like, paying models. Her models with cheeseburgers because she didn't have money to pay them with, and was selling these clothes online and like exploded. So those two women, I would love to pick their brains.
Wow.
All right,
I'm
Scarlett,
looking
you're on.
at. Yeah, I'm just gonna comment. I'm looking at the House of CV clothing, and it is very trendy. There is like actually a latex dress in here, a hot pink latex dress.
It is.
Wow.
It is. So,
But good
it's
for
bombshell
her.
clothing. It's what I am attracted to. But I mean, celebrities and just all sorts of girls are like buying it, and so she's making a killing.
Yeah.
So she flies from London
Let's
to
see.
LA.
I'm gonna have to look her up.
You
I
have
don't know
to
anything
follow
about
her.
this.
I mean, I think
Right.
that it's just amazing of a girl like my age who has a company this big. That's like amazing. So that's really cool and inspiring. Unfortunately, my two ladies are not famous. You can't find them in on the internet or anything. But the two ladies that I would meet up with would probably be our grandmother and then possibly my daughter. Just because I'm always.
Aw. I know that is such a Charlotte answer.
I know, that is so you. My goodness. Here we are, like, picking, like, artists and, like, CEOs and athletes, like,
Well, no, but just because, like, I feel as if I'm, like, constantly on the search for who I am and why I'm this way, and I would love to know and get to understand the way I think and how I was raised a little bit better. I don't feel like I have a good understanding on all of it, and I'm hoping that if I understand it, I have a better understanding of myself. And then once I learn that information, I would love to pass it on to my daughter, so maybe that would help her journey as well. Because clearly I'm in the quarter life crisis, so.
quarter life crisis.
It's okay.
I think
we all
30s
go through it.
Yes. I think once you hit your 30s, for me, so I feel like you feel good. Like, you feel like you know yourself a little bit. You feel more confident, and like, who cares? But quarter life, like 25, 24, is a tumultuous time. Tumultuous?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is tumultuous.
Yeah.
I feel like you just finished, you just left your teenage years and you're just figuring out your way in this adult world.
Adulthood.
Yeah,
right.
and a lot of your friends that you had when you were a teen don't necessarily move with you into the next phase of your life. So
Right.
it is a very...
It's hard.
It's a hard time. Yeah, I agree. I prefer my 30s over my 20s any day. I really do.
I like my early 20s, but my mid 20s are like, meh.
Because I feel like in your early 20s, you're still kind of like a kid, and then all of a sudden you hit your mid 20s, and then you're an adult, and you have to, you start being like, whoa, you start comparing yourself to others around you and measuring up where you're at compared to everybody else.
Right, and you don't quite measure up.
Yeah,
you can't.
Career-wise or relationship-wise, you start, we have these things. I remember when I was a teenager, I thought that at 28, I'd have my kids and I'd be married and, you have these kind of set guidelines for yourself. So when you're getting to that age and you haven't necessarily hit those marks, you're like, what's going on? And
right.
you did a little bit of anxiety during that time. So.
Yeah, definitely. But the one thing I have learned is, like, I think Cindy, you were just about to say, you can't compare yourself to anybody else. Everybody's path is different, and I know for sure my path has been different than a lot of my friends, people that I've known in my past. Like, I've just approached life a little bit differently than all of them. So my life and my path is going to be different. So I just got to do things at my pace. But yeah, those are the two women I would love to meet and love to pick their brain a little bit. So
I'm gonna give you a cyber hug.
Yeah, that was a very Charlotte answer, but a good one.
Okay, so I guess we'll move on to the second Q&A question. B, have you ever faced discrimination at work because you were a woman? Madeline, you go ahead.
Ooh, I'm gonna say no. In my 9 to 5, my full-time job, I'm gonna say no. I think that my profession that I'm in is predominantly women. So I haven't really had to break barriers, if you will. So I'm going to say no. However, I will say that in business, being a woman business owner, you just don't get that much cred. Like, I feel that even though I've been in my photography business for 6 years, like, I still have people wanting to barter services. And I'm like, you know what? That doesn't pay the bills. And I wonder whether they would ask a guy to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like for whatever reason, like, you know, because we're women and we're empathetic, that people think that you're going to do things out of the kindness of your heart. And when you say, I'm sorry, no, like, you know, I have to pay my bills and I charge for my time, people get offended. Or, you know, so I don't think in my full-time job, in my career in the financial industry, that I've had to face that. But I definitely think in business, as an entrepreneur, I do feel that being a woman, people just assume that you're more willing to negotiate on your services or your products because you're a woman.
Right.
So that's my answer.
Right. I don't know. I shouldn't be discussing, but I don't think that I think that people they want to negotiate regardless. I don't think that necessarily, I don't know. I don't have a business. I think that with men or women, people are going to trying to get a deal. You know what I mean? They're trying to get a bargain.
Yeah, but maybe it's also my profession, maybe because I do photography and it's more of an artistic thing. But I feel like, do people barter with the mechanic, or do people barter with the plumber and say, hey, if you fix my car, you know, I'll give you free promotion?
J Papa barters at everybody.
Well, J Papa is an exception. I'm just saying, like, I feel that, I feel like that, again, it could just be because I'm in photography, and maybe it's not a woman thing, but I just feel like people tend to barter more with women. Right. I'm going to just take that stand.
Right. I think that what you're saying is absolutely true, but I'll just go ahead and add to it one step. I think that most people, when they're bartering for any company, for any service, at least if it's a mom and pop shop, they're going to try to get a barter. But I think the difference is between a man and a woman. Once a man responds to the barter, no, this is the final price, that's it. That customer's not going to reapproach that subject again with a man. With a woman, I feel as if they're more likely to go back and be like, are you sure? What about this? Or what if I don't do this? Can you change the price for this? Like, what, like in your business? Like, what if I only want 2 hours instead of 3? Well, my editing time is still the same. So, no, it's still the same price, you know?
Yeah, I think that
And I think if say it was a business, like a man photographer, I think, you know, once he said, no, this is the price, they wouldn't ask again, and they would just leave it at that, you know? They're like a little less likely to broach the subject again. Right.
Yeah.
I think that the woman at that point has to stand her ground and be like, no. You know, this is the product, this is the services, and, you know, I think you're getting a lot for that. You know, or I think, you know, as long as it's within reason, I mean, you're pricing it for what you believe it's worth. Whether it's
your
product or service.
At the end of the day, what you're worth, what your job and all of that. So,
I feel like, and the reason why I say it is because I do know a lot of other women that are photographers and, so in the same field. And for whatever reason, clients sometimes come with sob stories about, oh, well, can you cut me a break because of X, Y, Z? Can you cut me a break because of this? And I wonder if it was a guy, would they be giving sob stories?
Right.
I feel like because you're a woman, sometimes they play on your empathy to get a better deal. So, again, I can't say that I've faced discrimination in the actual workplace. I mean, maybe I have, and I haven't realized it. For all I know, maybe my male counterparts make a lot more money than I do, and I have no clue, because we don't know what other people's salaries are. But as far as I can tell, because it's a predominantly female profession, I don't see it on a day-to-day.
For me, yeah, like working in the hospital in the healthcare field, it's mostly women. I think, Cindy, you can agree with me. Like it's a majority female industry. You have male doctors and, other men, but for the majority, it's women. And I feel as the discrimination doesn't come from men, it comes from women. I feel as if in my industry, they give you so, like, I had to take a breath. That's how intense it is. I just think that in the healthcare industry, women are so hard on each other, and they're so quick to judge and jump to a conclusion and not even ask or not even empathize, but just give that person the benefit of the doubt. And I think it's kind of sad to me, because I feel as if we're women. We're all in this together. We all have something to prove to society in whole. And I think we just need to work together. So I feel as if we get like harsher judgment from other women. And also as a young woman in the workforce, I feel as if I get treated much differently than older women in the workforce. I feel as if they feel like they can say or get away with a lot of stuff that younger women can. They'll say, oh, you're young, you can work this shift, or you don't have kids, you can work this.
Well, that's true. I've seen. I don't necessarily.
If it was me who said, oh no, you're an old lady, you don't even have kids anymore, all your kids are grown, so you can go work that holiday, all hell would break loose, So I think, like, as a young person, I feel like the older women, like, there's definitely some discrimination from the age group within the woman sector. So that I have felt for sure several times.
My take on the question, if I've had any discrimination at work because I'm a female, I mean, I feel as though I'm a nurse. I work with a lot of nurses. I don't necessarily feel like women discriminate against each other. I feel like, like, for instance, the patients sometimes, they will act up for women, and then I have to go grab one of my colleagues that are male and say, come here. And, once they see the male, then they're like, oh, I'm good now. Like, I'll be
here.
Like, that bothers me.
That's true. Now that you say that, that's so true. Like I said, I work in the financial industry, so I have a lot of older clients. I feel like that's a lot of older people that maybe do that. So
it's such a generational thing. Absolutely.
It's definitely a generational thing, because now that you say it, yes, I do feel that from clients. Not so much from coworkers or colleagues, but definitely from clients. Like, if I say something and I could be saying facts, I could be telling them what they need to hear. They'll be like, okay, can I speak to your male counterpart just to make sure?
Are you kidding?
I get that.
Yes, and they won't get the exact same answer, but they feel somehow better about it because they heard from a guy instead of from me. It's like, okay, sure.
I had a situation once where I had a patient that wanted to throw a urinal full of urine on me. I don't know what I did to him, and he was like threatening me with this urinal full of urine, and I said, you know what, I'll be right back. And I went down the hall, and I went and grabbed my male colleague, like, and I told him, so-and-so, this patient did this. So the male colleague comes in and goes, don't you do that to her. And he was like, so sorry. The patient was so sorry. And then he was like, and then later on in the night, he's like, I want to apologize to you. I'm like, I don't want to hear your apology. It's like, I don't want to hear that, please give me a break. But I mean, I think that's a generational thing, because it's just a different mindset. Generations, the older generations are just, they're different than the younger generations, just like the millennials are different than my generation. So,
yeah.
As far as that, I felt discrimination in that way, but I don't feel necessarily, I don't feel an equal. Hopefully they don't get paid more than we do, because, I feel like the male nurses they're not as nurturing and care as much. And I'm going to put this out there. I don't care anymore. The male nurses, let me just put this out there to the world to hear. Male nurses, they don't care if your family member's sitting in urine for hours. They may not get up. They just care they're getting paid per hour. Sorry, that's not every male nurse, but those are some of the male nurses I've worked with. And, females are more like nurturing.
I agree.
If the baby's diaper is wet, we have to change this diaper,
Absolutely.
Male nurses, so in that way, that kind of ticks me off, because women will work harder sometimes, taking care of their patients and doing things that,
going the extra mile.
Going the extra mile. Definitely, most definitely.
No.
So
I've actually witnessed that exact situation a couple of times in my job, and it's just insane. So you're gonna let this patient sit in their own filth because you're too lazy to fix it, for them, and they just give zero fucks, zero.
basically. Anyhow, let's move on. I guess. Yeah, let's move on to the hot product of the week because, and we'll start off with Maddie. Go ahead, Maddie. Yes.
You're the leader.
Madeline's the leader, firstborn child. Go ahead.
So this week I decided to pick for the hot product or hot item of the week is one of my favorite podcasts, which is How I Built This by NPR Radio. Jot this down because you're going to love it. It is a podcast pretty much dedicated to entrepreneurs and how they started their company and how they started their movements. So I've listened to a bunch of episodes, but some of the ones that stick out that feature women, they had the woman that created Spanx on there and her story, and it's amazing. She started this company out of a whim. She was cutting up her stockings, and she came up with the idea of Spanx. Before that, she was selling fax machines, and she goes on about how she went through all the process, and it's just great, really interesting interviews, and inspiring too, because a lot of times we think of these companies and we think, oh my goodness, there's just no way that this happens to regular people, that regular people can do this. But regular people are doing big things every day. And this show, this podcast really proves that. The other interview that I heard the other day was Kate Spade and how she started her brand.
Whoa.
And how she financed her company all by herself, pretty much. She didn't take any financing because she was very conservative, and she, was able to build this empire, Kate Spade.
Yeah.
And, she did it by herself. She did it, her husband was also an investor in it with her, but still, it's just a great show. They have tons of great entrepreneurs. I listened to the Airbnb story, the Chuck E. Cheese guy that did Atari. So many cool people. Crate and Barrel story. All of them very fascinating. And like I said, there were regular people that had an idea, and the rest, like they say, is history. So that is my hot item of the week. I love it. They're 30-minute long episodes. I usually play them in the car ride to work and the car ride home, and I come back home and I'm inspired to keep working on my grind. So
That sounds good. That's a good item.
yeah, definitely check it out. You'll love it.
I want to piggyback on that and just shout out to that movie, The Founder. It's about the guy who
McDonald's?
The McDonald's guy, yeah. And I don't want to say that he started McDonald's, because if you watch the movie, he didn't really start McDonald's. But he was just a regular schmo Joe, and he was like so close to losing absolutely everything. And now, I mean, like, I can't go to any town without seeing one McDonald's. We were just at work talking about how McDonald's are in like every country now too. So it's a cool watch if you guys want to watch it. I thought it was really cool. Jen, what's your hot product?
Okay, so my hot product is not a podcast, but of course it's a skincare thing because I'm obsessed. I don't know. If you go to Walmart, or if you go to, where did I buy this? I think I bought this at, I can't even remember. Either Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, one of those will have it. The Freeman mask. Have you seen these Freeman masks? I'm putting it up here.
No.
Okay,
I haven't.
Have you seen the little skincare mask in Walmart that they're like $1.99 or $1 and
Yeah,
change? And they're like, use one time and throw.
Right.
These, yeah, in New Jersey, I used to get these at Harmon's. I like miss Harmon's so much. Anyhow, it's called the apple cider vinegar 4-in-1 foaming clay. It is awesome. This is like so amazing. This stuff was like $3.99. Okay, you get 6 fluid ounces. This is a mask. It's a scrub. It's a cleanser, and it's a toner all in one. Now,
nice.
It is amazing. Like, I use a lot of products, and I can tell right away if I'm gonna love something or it's like, whatever. This thing was like, you just felt a difference in your skin right away. It has kaolin and bentonite clay, which draws out impurities. It has little pieces of pumice for exfoliation, and it has apple cider vinegar, which is a toner. You can, it's a natural toner. It is so good. I've only used it as a cleanser, and I put it on as a cleanser, scrub it in, because it has like little exfoliation, but your face it's radiant. I just can't say enough of this, and this is so good. I put it on my Snapchat, and one of the girls that bought something from me on Poshmark, she follows me on Snapchat, and she, like, as soon as I posted it, she's like, oh my god, I love this thing. Like, this thing is so awesome. And I can agree with her more. It's for all skin types, and it's just like an all-in-one. So if you wanted to
check it out.
Yeah,
it's
me
an
too.
all-in-one, because it's like a cleanser. You can put it and leave it, and it'll dry into a mask. It's just so, so, so good. And it has the apple cider, which is the toner. So if you are like one of those that don't really want to do the whole skincare thing, this is a good product for you. Yeah. So Maddie, you need to get this in your life.
Yeah, I need something I like the 4-in-1. Just get it all done in one swoop.
This is going to change your life. You need to buy it. For apple cider vinegar 4-in-1 foaming clay. It is amazing. I stand by that. Okay, that was my hot product.
The hot product of the week, it's gonna be it's another movie. I don't know. Clearly, I haven't done much to watch movies, but that movie, Get Out.
I heard that was good.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
Whoa, you guys need to watch it. It is eye-opening and like mind-blowing. And I think the only reason, I'm not gonna do a spoiler or anything, but I think the only reason that it just like blew my mind is that I could completely see it happening in real life. Like, there'll be moments. Have you guys ever been to a party where you're completely outnumbered? Like, you're the only minority in the room, and all the time.
I know, right? I never
And
fit
then
in
people
anywhere.
are
What are
like,
you talking
you
about?
know, they're not like introducing you as a friend. They're like, oh, this is Madeline, and she has a photography business, and they're like listing your attributes out, you know, like you're on auction or something, and you're like, oh,
Well, that's never happened to
hi.
me before.
You know, I feel like I've been in that situation a couple of times in my life, and that's what happens to one of the characters in the movie, and it's just like, oh my goodness. You if you have a second, watch it.
I'm definitely gonna watch it, even though the the trailer seemed so corny when I saw it. I'm like, oh, this movie sounds ridiculous. But
Is Get Out about the guy that's dating the black guy that's dating the white girl?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yes.
It's scary.
yeah, I've heard
It
from a couple of
is.
people that it was very good and it's worth a watch. So I have to like illegally download it because I can't go anywhere with the baby.
Is it on Amazon Prime? Because I'm
No, it's in the
No.
theater.
Oh,
Madeline,
okay,
we're gonna
never
have to
mind.
lend you the Fire Stick so you can watch it because it's
Yeah.
really it's just so worth it because yeah, it's really
Well,
good.
I have to say I can't relate to that experience because no one lists my accomplishments when I
But down in North Carolina, you have to be like more than one occasion be the only minority in the room, right?
Well, no, actually, here's a bit of bochinche. I've been meeting my neighbors, and I met one of my neighbors is Portuguese. That's like as
ethnic it's gonna get.
well, no, let me not say that. There is a lot of minorities. There's Spanish people, there's black people, but where I personally live, there's not a lot, because of the community that I live at. But I have to say, I had a great time over there, just shooting the shit and hanging out. And, I don't know. It's just nice to have a friend. I don't know. We had moving to North Carolina, I have so many acquaintances of people I know in New Jersey that moving down here, it's like that has been hard, just getting a flow, getting a mix of people that you know, and like I was really nice to meet my Portuguese neighbor, and her name is Cindy too. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, and we hit it off, so it's cool. And she's around my age. So it's very weird.
Wow. So Cindy, she's around your age, and you hit it off?
Yeah.
Ooh, I see
have
a competition.
No competition. No, I think it's just we're both because where we live, there's a lot of like people 55 and over. In our community. And so, she's 38, I'm 30. So, I mean, we're more closer to age than, I am to
55.
Right, exactly, So, I mean, it's just nice to have a friend down here for a change. So
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Start double dating. Couple double
dates in
your future.
Well, the funny thing is that's how J Papa met her husband, and that's how we met each other. They made the date, and then now we're friends. So now we're texting each other. Whatever.
Texting so soon?
Well, I mean, she's my next door neighbor. I mean, she's not next door, but she's literally like 3 houses down. So we went over there and, we're drinking wine. We literally walked there and like stumbled back home. Like, it was funny.
It's good.
Very
cool.
And
Ashley, you also said that you went to... What did you do this weekend? You went to jazz?
I went to this show in the city. I went to this jazz club that my boyfriend's been suggesting over and over and over, but I work so much. But this time I hunkered down and I actually went. It's called the Blue Note. It's been around forever. It's one of like the oldest jazz clubs. And we saw this group, Lou Donaldson and his band, and this guy is 90 years old, and he was on stage doing his thing, and I was just completely impressed because, one, lung capacity. I've got people like 70 years old that are bedridden in the hospital, and this guy is 90 and, performing, doing a whole show, being able to play the saxophone, like, so well. So that was really good. Yeah, and I actually took a picture with him, so that was cool. I got to meet. That's a good thing about. That's a good thing about.
You're such a
dating
groupie, Ash.
I am. Even as a 90-year-old.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Definitely opening my eyes to jazz because jazz was never my thing, but because of TW,
So you should have
I've
loved
been
La
learning.
La Land then.
Is it a
She's
jazz
just
movie?
opening.
Yeah, it's a jazz. It's mostly jazz.
Well, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for you guys tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So until next week, girls. It was fun.
Yay! See you next week.